We're back, and with me in the studio is Catherine Asaro. Catherine, welcome back to Fast Forward.
Hi, it's great to be here.
It's good to have you. Now, Diamond Star, that's the latest book in the Ruby Dynasty saga, right?
That's right, yeah.
Which is like, what, up to like 12, 13, 14 books now?
I think so. I've lost count, but...
And something like your 24th novel.
Yeah,
You're a busy lady.
Yeah, it seems so.
Now, this one fits in, what, after Skyfall, I would guess? And
This one is after the war, so it's after the Radiant Seas. It's about 10 years before the Ruby Dice.
Okay.
So in the chronology, it's one of the later books, but it's completely separate from the other books.
It really is. It takes you away from kind of the big, galactic, ground that you normally play on here, and it focuses entirely on Earth.
That's right. And originally I thought it would be a short book, just about this prince who incognito becomes a rock star on Earth. But it turned out to be the longest, one of the more complicated books I've done.
Yeah, and what I liked is the fact that it is kind of separate. You don't need to know all of the things that have gone on with the Skullian Empire and the Eubians and traders and everybody. It comes into play because he's a prince.
Yes, rather badly behaved one.
Yes, yes, and a slightly damaged one as well.
Yeah.
There's damaged people in this book.
I've been through a lot.
Yeah, and you do focus a lot on the personal in this, with Dell and also with Ricky, who is his...
She was a funny character. Ricky is his producer in the book. And originally it started out, she was a villain. And as I wrote it, I thought, it's just not working in the story. So maybe a third of the way into the book, I changed my mind. Because the way she ended up now in the story, which is actually a rather sympathetic character, was how I kept wanting to write her. It's what fit. And I had to go back and change the complete beginning of the book to make that work.
That's interesting. So she was the villain at first.
At first, yeah.
And I mean, there's a lot of great characters. I mean, Mac Tyler is a fascinating guy. He's like the one person that Dell can trust.
It's true, yeah. And he's not supposed to be. He's supposed to be reporting on Dell to the government.
But he tells Dell he's doing that, so that's what makes him trustworthy. He's sitting there going, you do know that everything we talk about, everything I see, I'm going to be going back to the general and telling him what's going on.
Well, he's very fond of Dell. It's like a father-son relationship almost.
Let's talk about Dell a little bit.
Yeah.
He's kind of the renegade prince.
Oh, yeah.
And he's been through a lot. He's sort of, in some ways, in his 70s, but he's also in his 20s.
He's in his 20s.
Yeah.
But, yeah, we can't tell why.
That's right.
You have to read the book to find out. But he's been through, I mean, he died, essentially.
Yeah.
And was dead for a while.
And got better.
Yeah, that's right.
One of the other things I found very interesting here is you have it on Earth. You also have it here in the Washington, Baltimore area, and you project it into the future. And how did you do the research and figure out what things were going to be like?
It just came. I mean, like when I had them playing at Meriwether Post Pavilion, he does a concert there at this site that's not far from my house. And I just thought, well, it would be much better if there was lots of parkland around here instead of the suburbs of Maryland. And when I was doing it, I didn't consciously think that population centers and, space travel will change the composition of suburbs on Earth. But it made sense. It made a logical sense. And after I wrote it and I went back to think, that's usually how I write. The story comes out, and then I go back and I think about the research and does this make sense? And it did, because we constantly think of cities as growing, but we're going to reach a point where it probably goes in the other direction. Though I must say, my friends are mad at me for getting rid of part of Columbia.
Neighbors didn't like that?
The neighbors didn't like that, no.
And you've also got big buildings in Washington, D.C.
Sacrilege,
I know. You have them getting rid of the height restrictions, these big, huge buildings and
but it's
hotels.
beautiful.
Yeah. And once again, you've brought this in because you win awards for your science fiction and from the romance world.
Yeah, it surprised me. It's nice.
So you get all that. One of the things I've found most interesting about what was going on with this was he's a singer and a rock star, and you started writing the songs he was going to sing.
Yes. Well, what happened was I had this, light bulb over the head moment when I was writing the story, and I thought, oh yeah, he's a singer, he's got to have songs. So I thought, if he has to have songs, I have to write lyrics. So I did. I wrote quite a few songs, and then I realized I didn't know how to put them to the music, because when you sing, it's not the same as writing poetry. So I listened to quite a bit of music that I had, specifically for how lyrics went with the music. And then I rewrote the songs. And I told some friends about it, and they said, why don't you get someone to do them?
And you did. You found a band, and you did a CD that goes with the album. And actually, we are going to step away right now. When we come back, we're going to have some members of the band Point Valid who work with Catherine on a CD that goes with the book.